Through the centuries, not everyone has been comfortable with a supernatural reading of the Nephilim in Genesis chapter 6. Some interpreters have proposed alternatives. One view argues that sons of God simply means the godly line of Seth, while daughters of men refers to the sinful line of Cain. Another claims the sons of God were powerful kings or rulers, called sons of God, as a title of honor. These interpretations have one thing in common. They attempt to keep the passage purely human. No divine beings, no cosmic rebellion. But when we test these views against the text itself, they quickly fall apart. First, as we've seen, the phrase sons of God consistently refers to divine beings elsewhere in the Old Testament. There is no precedent for calling human men sons of God until much later theological developments. Second, the Seth view struggles to explain the outcome, the birth of Nephilim. Marriages between believers and unbelievers might be sinful, but they don't produce giants or mighty men of old. Third, the royal view tries to claim that kings were called sons of God in ancient Near Eastern texts, but even there the divine connotation is strong. These kings were often considered semi-divine or even incarnations of gods. The supernatural element remains. Fourth, both alternative views ignore the broader context. Genesis 6 is describing a catastrophic corruption of the earth that leads directly to God's decision to send the flood. If Genesis 6:1-4 merely described intermarriage between human groups, it would not logically explain why God needed to wipe out all flesh. And finally, ancient Jewish and early Christian interpreters, those closest to the culture and language of the text, overwhelmingly understood Genesis 6 to describe divine rebellion, not merely human sin. These alternative views arose much later, largely in response to theological discomfort, not because the biblical text demanded them. We cannot change Scripture to fit our preferences. Genesis 6 confronts us with a hard truth. The rebellion against God was not just human, it was cosmic.